So this is the 2017 Honda CR-V Touring. I am really excited to show this car to you today. The color of this particular car is called Crystal Black Pearl. And since this is a CR-V, you have a smart key access system. So here's the key fob. So you have lock, unlock, remote start, power tailgate, and panic button. So to use remote start, just lock the car twice and press and hold the start button. The car will flash at you. And to turn it off, just press the start button again. So also with remote start, you have your smart key access. So just make sure that the car is locked. Walk up to the car. And to unlock the door, just grab the door handle. The door will beep at you. And to lock it, just press the indentations on top. So you have a black leather interior with perforated stitching. I think it really looks nice. You also have a 12-way power driver's seat. Your armrest is leather padded, so is the rest of the door panel. You have this nice wood trim. Get some brushed aluminum trim along the door handle right here. You have 2-person memory for your driver's seat. Your driver and passenger side windows are automatic. Your rear windows are normal. Here are your window locks, door locks, and mirror controls. Here's one of your speakers. You have a cup holder and some storage down here. Now, since this is a new car, it has a really solid thud when you close the door, and I really appreciate that. First impressions of the interior are very, very nice. I really like how Honda redid the interiors of the CR-V. It really looks gorgeous and upscale. So since you have a smart key access system, you also have push button start. So just leave the key fob anywhere inside the car. I'm just going to leave it in the tray. Put your foot on the brake and press the start button to go. So the CR-V has an all-new 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, just like in the Civic. We'll listen to it later in the video, and we'll let the car warm up a little. So here's the new steering wheel for 2017. It's basically the same as the Civic. I really like the design. It's 3-spoked and leather wrapped. So on the left, you have your audio and menu controls. So here are your channel selection and volume buttons. And here's your menu button, your Bluetooth phone buttons, and your voice control. And right here are your cruise control settings. So here's to accelerate and decelerate. Here's your adaptive cruise control, your cruise control main, and your lane keep assist. So on the left you have your headlight controls, and on the right you have your wiper controls. And up top, to use the information display, which is new for the CR-V, you use this button to scroll through. So right now, if you press enter, it'll show you where your torque is going for your all-wheel drive system, your oil life and settings, like your maintenance minder, your audio, Bluetooth phone, and this is just to switch your units. And going back, you have your driver attention level, which the car will give you an audible message if it notices that you're sort of swaying out of your lane. Use your compass. And range and fuel economy. So up top is your tachometer, and just below that is your speedometer, and just to the bottom of that is your thermometer. To the left of that is your engine temperature gauge, and to the right of that is your engine fuel gauge. So this center screen is digital, but these two are partially digital. Just to the left, you have some more wood trim. some soft touch leather on the dashboard. And down here is your lane departure warning button, your pre-collision mitigation braking button to turn it off, your power tailgate button, and your traction control off button. You also have this same little cubby, just like in the previous generation CR-V, that you could put the key fob in it if you would like. All those good things that the CR-V was notable for, and still is notable for. Just to the bottom of that is your gas release. So when the car is on, your start button will turn red, and when it's off, it'll stay white. So to the center here is one of the biggest changes to the CR-V. So you have an 8-inch touchscreen display, which I really like that it's flush with everything, so it doesn't look like it's out of place. And Honda actually listened to us. We have a volume knob. So this uses Honda's latest Honda Link infotainment system. So here's your navigation, your map, it's Garmin based, your Bluetooth phone settings. My phone isn't paired to the car right now. Your system settings, like to set your Bluetooth phone, Apple CarPlay, and system settings and everything like that. And you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. My phone isn't plugged into the car either. Your audio.
Providing help, providing transportation, and
vehicle information, like your range and trip computer. And Honda Link, which pairs to the app on your phone. I don't have that app with me on my phone. And here are all of your apps. So this is an internet-based infotainment system, so you can have like Spotify, Pandora, and all those online apps. You can also swipe the screen just like it's a tablet. And it's very responsive, which I like. So since I have an iPhone, you have Apple CarPlay. So let's get into that. I have to unlock my phone. And you have to hit allow on your phone to allow it to show the screen. So this is your home button. So just like on an iPhone, you can just press and hold it for Siri. Weather.
It's not looking good today. Down to 21 degrees.
Yikes. And here's your phone.
Who are we calling?
So yeah, you do have Siri. Here are all of your recent calls, your contacts. You can swipe through it like that. Your keypad, and all of your voicemails. Here's your music, which it shows everything on your phone. So let's say you're on your phone, which you shouldn't be while you're driving, but let's say you're on your phone, and if you go onto the music app, it'll go on it in the car. Here is Apple Maps. So right now we're at Sport Honda in Silver Spring, Maryland. So it shows all of your destinations and addresses. And going back into Maps, it has all of your previous destinations. And it shows your text messages. So you could swipe through everything there. Here's just back to the normal Honda interface. You also have podcasts, audiobooks, and iHeartRadio, Pandora, and Spotify. So that's all internet radio. So I really like how it's integrated into the car. So to the left of that is your home button, map button, audio button, Bluetooth phone button, your back button, and you can completely shut off the screen or just dim the brightness. So down here you have dual zone automatic climate control with multi-stage heated seats, which are really useful on a 23-degree day. And they really heat up fast, you can feel it. So here's your fan speed, your climate, which shows up on the screen if you want it to. And you can change your fan speed up here, your different modes and AC. Here are your recirculation buttons, your front defrost and your rear defrost, which turns on your heated mirrors. And just to the bottom of that is your electric parking brake and your brake hold button. So all CR-Vs get a standard CVT with low gear, sport gear, You don't get paddle shifters. And when you put the car into reverse, you have a multi-angle backup camera. So here's your wide view, normal view, and top-down view. Also have parking sensors and rear cross traffic alert, which you can turn on and off by this button on the screen. I sort of like the design of the shifter. It looks unique. Right here is your Econ button, which maximizes fuel economy. All of the dash is a soft touch material. I'm not sure if I don't think it's leather. It's a very nice material. And you get some piano black, some more wood trim. The bottom is a nice feeling plastic. It's not a cheap feeling plastic, but it's plastic. You have a damped glove box, which is pretty deep. You could fit an iPad and a bunch of things in there. Just here's your owner's manual. And looking at the door panel, you get some more wood trim, just like on the driver's side door. Here's your leather padded armrest, and just everything right here is leather. And here's a speaker, some cup holders, and some storage down below. Now these seats do look very comfortable, and they are comfortable. They're not that hard, but they're not that soft. They're very supportive for a CRV. But I think that if you're looking at the CRV, you'll really like these seats. Now down here, you have a 12-volt power outlet with another little tray right here, which is rubber. You have two cup holders and a place to put your phone. But inside that, you can slide this tray back, and it shows two USB ports, a power outlet, and your glove box. This is just the front half of the glove box. Now this thing does move forward and backwards. And you have a leather padded armrest, which is pretty nice. And you can open it by this. There's the rear part of your center console. Now this thing is the tray is completely removable if you want the full storage. It's pretty adequate for its size. And there's so many more cubbies. Right here you have an auto-dimming rear view mirror. Here are your sunroof controls, your map lights, garage home link. You have a conversation mirror and a sunglass compartment. And you do get sun visors with lights and mirrors. It's cloth. Well, this part is cloth and this part is plastic. And here's just a view of your sunroof. You don't have a panoramic moonroof like the Subaru Forester and other Subaru models. But overall, just like how I said at the beginning of the video, I really like the design of these new CRV's interiors. It's really upscale, like compared to an Acura. I don't see why you would want an RDX. I'm not bashing on Acura, but the way how I see how Honda's doing their interiors, like in the Pilots, the Accords, the Civics, and all of their models, I really like how they're doing it. And I wouldn't care for the RDX only if the CRV had the V6 that the RDX has. But the top engine in the CRV is this 1.5 liter 4-cylinder. So let's get to the back of the CRV. So the back doors in the CRV open pretty wide. It's almost perpendicular. So you have more wood trim, just like the front. Some smaller speakers and some larger speakers. These are tweeters. And you do have a leather padded armrest, just like the front, with more stitching that is plastic. You have a cup holder and some more storage down here. And the rear seats look just as comfortable as the front seats. It's still that perforated leather in the back. And just like the front, you get the same nice stud when you close the door. So in the back, you have two vents. You don't have a third zone for your climate control. And you have two 2.5 amp USB ports, which is very nice. That's something that some other cars don't have. And it charges your phone or whatever you're using very fast, since it's 2.5 amps. Now you do have child seat latches down here if you just push this back. And you have a large leather padded armrest, which is very soft and comfortable. And you do have two cup holders in the middle. They're relatively small, but I think they'll be just fine for whoever's in the back of the car. Overall, the CR-V is a little bit wider than the outgoing model, so you can definitely tell, because from the previous CR-V that I filmed, it wasn't tight, but it wasn't the best. Like, it was sort of a little bit cramped in the back of that CR-V. So this is definitely an upgrade from the previous model. Now the seat belt for the middle seat is attached to the ceiling, but I'm surprised it takes up that much room in the car. Here's just a higher view from it. It takes up a good amount of space, I think that. But you do have a good amount of storage capacity in the back of the car. We'll get to that later in the video. Now, visibility in the CR-V is very good. Up top here are your dome lights and some more handles here. So let's check out the trunk of the CR-V. So you can open the trunk of the CR-V in a lot of different ways for the 2017 model year. You can open it from inside the car. You can open it from the button on the trunk. You can open it on the key fob, and new for 2017, it's foot activated. So you have a pretty large opening when you open the trunk. So you have 39 cubic feet of volume behind the second row, and you have just around 75 cubic feet of volume behind the first row with the second row folded. Now, something just like the previous gen CR-V, you can fold the seats by the trunk by just pulling this handle, and they will fold down flat, just like the other side. So that's what gives you 75 cubic feet of volume. And you have some lighting in the back here, which is pretty handy. Here's a subwoofer, and you can actually lower this bottom tray. You can lift it. You have a spare tire. It's a donut. And you can actually lower the level of the trunk to be flat with this, so it gives you some more space. Tailgate is also height adjustable for, let's say, your garage is a little bit low or you're short. So to close it, and it's pretty quick too. One thing about some other cars in its segment is that the tailgates are pretty slow. I noticed that. That's one plus on the CR-V. So let's get under the hood of the CR-V. So the car will beep at you to warn you that you have the key fob on you and it doesn't detect it. So the hood latch is right to the left of the Honda logo, and you pull it to the right and up. So under the hood of the CR-V, which is new, you either have the same 2.4 liter 4-cylinder that makes about 185 horsepower from the outgoing model. That's only on the LX, and on EX and above, and since this is a touring, you have the 1.5 liter 16 valve dual overhead cam 4-cylinder, which is turbocharged, which makes 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. Going to all four wheels on this model, all-wheel drive is available as an option, and front-wheel drive is standard. That is mated to a CVT. So you should be expecting about 27 miles per gallon in the city, 33 on the highway with a combined of 29. So let's hear how the CR-V sounds. It's a little zippy. I don't want to rev it too much since it's brand new. Let's check out the outside. So let's turn on our headlights, which are automatic, our fog lights, and our hazards. So coming on the front of the CR-V, you have full LED headlights with LED turn signals and daytime running lights, which look really sharp. You have halogen fog lights. I really like how these new CR-Vs look, especially the headlights, how the turn signal is like right on top of right under the hood, and the daytime running lights. I really like how Honda's taking the CR-V. Now coming to the side, you have 18-inch alloy wheels, which some people don't like, and I can sort of see why. It looks weird to some people, but I sort of like it. In person, it looks a lot better than on camera. Now you get all-season tires with the CR-V. You have heated and power adjusting side view mirrors, which have LED turn signals on them. You get some chrome trim on the bottom with some body cladding. I really like the body line on the CR-V, like just like that. It really looks sharp. Now coming to the back, you have these full LED taillights that remind me of the Volvo S90 or the XC90, but I like how they look with the LED turn signal, just like the front, and the LED light piping on the taillights. Now you do get a dual exhaust, which is new for 2017. I'm glad that Honda is actually showing the exhaust on more of their cars. So you get some more of that black body cladding on the bottom. Here's your backup camera, your rear wiper, and your integrated rear spoiler. But I really like how Honda redesigned the new CR-V. Like especially this line right here. It's really sharp. And I'm not just saying this, but I really like it. I also like how Honda shaped it. It doesn't look too far off from the previous gen CR-V, but it looks mature over the previous model. And I've heard a lot of good things about people liking how this looks over the previous gen CR-V too. When I first saw the rear end, I sort of thought it looked a little bit too futuristic for me, but I actually like it now. Just like the ridge lines, they grew on me. Now you have a shark fin antenna at the top and some chrome roof rails. So the CR-V is back to the normal 5 trim levels just like before. So you have the LX, which has the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, which is $24,045. The EX, which is $26,695. The EXL, which is $29,195. The EXL with navigation, which is $30,195. The Touring, which is $32,395. This particular model is about $33,000. All-wheel drive is available on all models with standard front-wheel drive, and all models only get the CVT. You still have the same real-time all-wheel drive system just like the other CR-Vs, but it was redesigned for the new model year, so it'll send more power to the rear wheels, because before it used to only send about 25% of power to the rear wheels, so it was basically useless. But now the CR-V should actually be able to handle some deeper snow or some more challenging obstacles. Now the main competitors for the CR-V are other SUVs just like the 2017 Toyota RAV4, the 2017 Ford Escape, the 2017 Jeep Cherokee, the 2017 Mazda CX-5, the 2017 Kia Sportage, the 2017 Hyundai Tucson, and the 2017 Subaru Forester. There are some other models, but this segment is pretty crowded. Now, the Cherokee is the only model in this segment that has a V6 with a real four-wheel drive system. It's not standard, but you can get it with an actual transfer case with a low and high ratio gear settings. And the Forester is one of the only ones that actually has a performance model to it, like the Forester XT. These, I would choose the Cherokee just if it had a different looking front end, because I thought that the front end of the Cherokee would look better after a while, like after I get used to it. I still don't really like how it looks. So if Jeep would redesign the Cherokee, I would go after that just because it has the V6 in the rear four-wheel drive system. But other than that, if I didn't really care about the V6 or an actual four-wheel drive system, I would go after the CRV just because I sort of like Hondas more than all of the other cars in its segment. But really, I would go for the CRV or the Forester because those are my two personal favorite cars in this segment. But the Forester is just getting a little bit dated. But Subaru has given it a slight refresh, so that'll keep it up to standards with all of the other cars in its segment. So I hope you all enjoyed getting up close and personal with the 2017 Honda CR-V touring with me today. I'm really happy to see this car. I'm glad I found out that they came out yesterday. So just for that, give it a like, maybe subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next video, so have a good day.